Hey guys, I'm here with Gaz Williams, the man himself. So we're in the Thomann store here, and we're just gonna go and try to find a nice bass, because this man can rock on the bass. So we're going to find a bass, then we're gonna go up into the studios, plug it into the Moog One, believe it or not, and then we're gonna see what happens. How crazy is that? All right, so let's go run around the store a bit and see what we can find.
Yeah, this is a classic German bass. That's the Warwick thumb bass. I've always actually really wanted one of them. And, this is a really weird thing. Look at this. This is a combination of a fretless bass and so it's just like a 4-string normal bass, and you've got 3 strings, which is that, and that are replicated there, but fretless, so you can do all your woo. Well, to be honest, I've just been obsessing over the amazing and sadly no longer with us bass player Bernard Edwards, who played with Chic and played on all those wonderful tracks with Nile Rodgers, and the bass he used is the Man Stingray, and I've got a lot of basses at home, but I don't have a Stingray, and I am now gassing bad for a Stingray. I used this one on a little jam yesterday, and I liked it, so I'm going to use this one again. Now, something that we have to bear in mind though, if we're plugging in, this is an active bass, so actually it's got an 18-volt preamp with take a couple of batteries, but that means we've got line level, so that should be good for us to plug in.
Right, because we're going straight into the Moog One, so this is kind of a first-time experiment.
Not many bass players have played through a Moog One. That's like a metaler's strap. That's so long. That's for when you want to have your guitar down by your knees. This is way too long. Oh, look! It's an Ernie Ball strap. Ernie Ball. There we go.
All right, so we're in here in the studio now. We got the bass, we got Gaz, the man.
Hey.
So what we're doing here is that we got this bass running directly. So we got patch cable going into the bass, or from the bass directly into the back here.
This is like a Man Stingray, which is kind of one of the classic Leo Fender designs. You know, he went from the P bass to the jazz bass. This is like kind of his 70s bass. I became synonymous with a lot of the funk guys. Louis Johnson, you know, who was like a slap kind of crazy. He would use one. But just really briefly, this is the 2018 model, sort of, or the current model, and there's a bunch of things. It's a bit smoother, and there's like, it's kind of rounded off so you can get more accent. And it's lighter. They've dropped a bunch of weight off it.
Right. This thing is a beast.
It's a beast. So I got to be honest, you sat down on here and you've just been playing some gorgeous things on it. You need one of these things.
Moog, if you're listening. Yeah, it's a very intuitive synth. I mean, there's lots of knobs and buttons and switches, so it can feel a bit overwhelming. But if you blur your eyes and kind of ignore the fancy buttons, the knobs and the layout is pretty intuitive. So if you've ever played with a mini Moog or let's be honest, most subtractive synths, you got your signal path going from left to right, 3 oscillators, dual filter, we got 3 envelopes, mixer with a bunch of stuff, ring mod, noise, external input, 4 LFOs, sequencer. We're probably gonna not have time to do 90% of this. There's a whole digital section, effect section with eventide effects. We got some manual wah here.
Ooh. Yeah, man, that's so cool.
Sweet.
Oh, I'd love to employ you to be my personal waris.
When you run the external input, it's treated just like another oscillator, so it's running through the entire signal path as if it was a 4th or oscillator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to initialize a patch by holding Shift Compare, and then I'm going to...
Hallelujah! All synths need super quick initial
I agree,
patch,
yeah.
and some don't.
Some don't, yeah.
Oh, it drives me mad!
We've got a simple patch now, so the most vanilla thing we can do is a classic filter sweep, so... Pretty sweet stuff. Resonance is cracked up. We can do nice, thick... Give you guys...
That's the glorious...
Creamy Moog.
Unmistakably Moog.
because this is run as another oscillator, you need to gate the signal to get any kind of signal out. So either you can duct tape one of the keys down, or you just press the hold button, which is way more convenient.
All right.
So now you're getting a steady signal. So now I'm going to lower down the oscillator.
See, the thing about the Music Man is it's got a poke. It's a little poke to it,
right,
to the sound. So where that pickup is, ordinarily, you know, if you've got a P bass pickup, it will be here.
Right.
A jazz bass will have 2 pickups. So the jazz bass pickups are. But the Music Man is kind of centered around the 5th of the harmonic.
That's interesting.
None of my basses have got a pickup there.
Right.
So like, oh, this is what I need.
This is what we need. This is what we need.
It's really nice through that.
So we can change the slope of the filter. We have 24, 18, 12, 6. I'm gonna add some LFO to the bass, or to the cutoff. Get like an auto watt thing going. Actually, I can give you a bit of a rhythm with this.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, go do it.
You can also adjust the LFO to go. Oh, we're getting a nice,
Oh, that's quicker that is.
like a surf guitar bass. And then you can actually increase the rate of the LFO to way higher.
Ooh.
Oh, that's cool.
That sounds like someone's rattling the cutlery trays. Stream. Right.
Oh, listen to that.
Woo! It's wet.
Someone's had a bit of beans for lunch.
It's like, look, Mum, the Peter's fart box. That's really wet.
This thing comes with a dual filter, so far we've just been going through the classic ladder filter. So let's start with low pass.
Woo! Let's get some funky, cool sounds
Let's
there.
go into high pass. Amazing. Woo! Oh, we got nice.
The most expensive, nasty pedal.
I don't know how to turn it off. Okay, initialize the patch. Of course, now we're just using this as a pedal, effectively. But you could bring up the oscillators and play together, as you heard in the jam we did at the beginning. But let's jump over to the master effects. So the Moog One comes with a bunch of Eventide digital effects.
Such a smart move.
It sounds amazing.
Those effects are glorious.
Let's start with a nice simple delay. Let's see if it goes into self-oscillation.
Oh yeah! That is one of the awesome things. Eventide, obviously, analog synth, digital effects.
Yeah.
Great combo. Eventide stuff sounds awesome when you are messing
When
with
you're
it.
going crazy.
You know, I love it. On my pedal board, I've got the H9 Eventide.
Right,
so
right,
that's got
nice.
the kind of black hole kind of stuff.
Oh,
It's
sweet, yeah.
smart move of smart move of Moog.
Sorry, Mark. Okay, so
Yeah, it's about 3 minutes.
so we should wrap it up. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Gaz, thanks so much for being part of this.
My pleasure. I seriously, I want you to be my warist, my personal warist.
I'm down. I'm going on tour with the Gaz.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so hopefully this gives you a good idea of what you can do. Obviously, we just scratched the surface. There's tons more effects. Obviously, we're not suggesting that you buy this huge synth as your pedal, but it's a fun experiment to do if you already have it. Might as well run some stuff through it and have fun.
Yeah, I mean, good grief. I mean, you know, these things are not cheap,
Right.
but they're bloody good.
Cut.
Amazing. That was such a good end.
Cut.